Metaplanet stock, we need a quick update on it because they just released their 555 plan, which is them selling 555 million shares for $5.4 billion, right? And this number is adjustable, right? Because the share value is moving as well, right? If they sell it all at their targeted price, they will raise $5.4 billion. But let's say it's higher. Let's say it's 2,000 yen per share. I think the capital that they raise will be higher as well, right? Because they are selling shares, right? So, what's the plan? The plan is basically that they want to hold 1% of all the BTC supply by 2027, right? End of 2027. And when you take a look at their original target is 21,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2026. And now they have set an updated target of 100,000 Bitcoin, right? So is it possible that they raise up to maybe 50,000 or 40,000 Bitcoin this year? I think that's very, very possible, right? When we take a look at the stock price, I'm up a staggering 2x just in like a matter of like 3 weeks or something like that, right? So obviously some people might have said if they didn't really take a look at the fundamentals, they say, okay, went from 300 to 700 already. Why are you still buying, right? And my average price is $750, as I mentioned, right? Sorry, Japanese yen, as I mentioned in the last video. And currently it's trading, I think, 1,500, right? Because if we take a look at Metaplanet, this is the US ticker and it's up 26%, right? So obviously the Japanese ticker doesn't reflect this because they only released this news after the close, right? So when we take a look at their initial goals, this is their initial goals this year at the start of the year, right? 28th of January, they released this report and their ambitions were to join the 0.1% club, 21k BTC, right? And then by the end of 2025, they wanted 10k BTC, right? So you can see that they actually revised their targets very, very ambitiously, right? And if the MNAV holds at a 6 times MNAV, essentially they will be able to execute, right? Just by selling the common shares, right? Because the demand for the common shares is very, very high right now. So a 6 times MNAV essentially means that every time they acquire $1 of BTC, their shares will actually go up 6x that, right? So whatever the proportion is, right? And obviously it's very hard to calculate because it's like 0.00 something, right? So 0.01, right? Per thousand shares or something like that, right? So it's very hard to calculate, but the gist of it is when Bitcoin price goes up by $1, and when they acquire $1 worth of Bitcoin, their market cap should move 6 times, right? If this MNAV number holds. So in the long term, should you bank on this MNAV number expanding? I think the answer is no, right? Because the MNAV is just reflective of how fast they're acquiring Bitcoin, right? And this is because the market is allowing them to do this, right? If one day the MNAV drops to 1, then they need to issue debt and all of that. That makes stuff much, much more complicated, right? But for now, they can just sell shares, $1 worth of Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and they are selling shares for $6, right? So that's a very, very insane business model. Essentially selling dollars for $6, right? So now when we take a look at the math, right? Because some people might say, oh, you're already up 2x within 3 weeks. Why don't you just sell all your shares? Be happy, right? You already made your money, right? So a tip would be to always look at the share price and then compare with the fundamentals, right? When we take a look at the fundamentals, they are growing their BTC stash so much, right? And let's take a look at the long-term vision for me, right? Let's say at the end of this year, they have 50,000 Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin price, I'm just going to say it holds steady at 105,000. This is 5.2 billion. And then if they have a 6 times MNAV, which I think is unlikely, but this will be a $31 billion market cap, right? So if you're wondering why I'm not selling, so even at half this, right? Even at half, sorry, divide by 2, even at half this, I think it's still higher than the market cap today, right? When we take a look at the market cap, I think, yeah, I'm not going to do the conversion right now, but I think the market cap right now is about 6-7 billion. So this is still double, right? Even if the MNAV halves, right? So should we expect the MNAV to stay this high? Only time will tell. So this is all in game theory and in reflexivity, right? Because we cannot say that, oh, the MNAV will confirm come down or the MNAV will confirm go up. So, and that MNEF affects the fundamentals of the company. So in terms of what I'm doing with my own shares, I'm still not selling any shares, right? I know that I mentioned my strategy for all these Bitcoin treasury companies was if it doubles, I'll take half. Basically, I'll take my capital off the table, right? But for Metaplanet specifically, I'm not doing that, right? Because I can see the bigger vision and they are executing like crazy, right? Because again, when you take a look at the plan, it was 21,000 BTC by end of next year. Now I think they can hit this 21,000 BTC by the end of this year. Maybe they can even get to 42,000 BTC by the end of this year. So I'm very, very, very bullish on Metaplanet and their execution, right? Especially a lot of these strategy companies, basically they say, oh, we're gonna raise this, blah blah blah, and then they just end up not doing that all that much, right? So they are one of the earlier movers, as well as they have Dylan Leclerc, right, which is someone who is inside Bitcoin and all this crypto for a very long time already, and they have Donald Trump Jr., right? So this is what makes it a bit more special than the others, right? So when I said look for good management team, look for below 100 or $200 million market cap, this is some exception to the rule, right? Because you can see the other day I mentioned that I'm buying into FAAS also. And that in that case, I don't think there's a fantastic management, but their market cap is below like 100 million. And the other day it was trading even below 50 million, right? So I think in that case, we have to be a bit more flexible because you're never gonna get like the perfect thing, right? And then you say, oh, MicroStrategy is the perfect thing. They have good management, but they don't have the below $100 million market cap. In fact, their market cap is $100 billion. So from here to double or triple your money, it's going to be much, much harder, right? Compared to something like Metaplanet, where maybe every few months they can acquire their whole Bitcoin stash, right? Obviously, that number will change as their number gets bigger and bigger. Now we have 8,888 BTC on the balance sheet. By next week, maybe we'll have 10,000. By next month, maybe we'll have 12,000 or something like that, right? So by the end of the year, I'm thinking that they can get to maybe 40,000 or 50,000. But do I think they can continue the same pace after that? I think the answer is obviously no, because them buying might also cause the BTC price to spike. And the last point I want to make is that this for me is not really a play on whether the Bitcoin price will go up or go down, right? Because for me, even if the Bitcoin price stays stable, I think they will accumulate a lot of Bitcoin, right? And my view is that obviously I think Bitcoin will continue to go up for the foreseeable future, maybe the next few months at least, right? So I think, in my opinion, both of it is a win in the Metaplanet sales, right? Because the Bitcoin price is going up while they're acquiring so much Bitcoin, right? And I think this is just a very, very good setup. And I'll continue holding my shares for now, right? If there's any update or if I'm selling my shares, I'll post another video. And basically, I will have to analyze, because things are moving so fast for these companies, right? That I have to take a look at the thing week by week, right? Instead of some operating companies, which I only look at maybe quarter by quarter or semi-annually, right? But compared to this, I'm looking at it week by week, right? Especially when their updates are on Twitter, their updates are instant, right? Not they have to file with the SEC or something like that, right? So yeah, that was just a quick update on Metaplanet. I hope you guys understand the bigger picture. And the last thing that I want to mention is that obviously don't FOMO, right? Because 6 times MNEF is not really cheap, right? When I was buying it, it was about 3.5, 4 times MNEF, which I found acceptable considering they only had like 6,800 BTC on the balance sheet, right? But now it's 8,800. I think likely that we're still early, but I think there is risk if you buy right now that the stock can go down 50%, right? Because if you take a look at Metaplanet stock, it has been an incredibly volatile stock, right? This is a minus 80%. Sorry, I think this is a minus 80%. This is a minus, I think, 50%. This is another minus maybe 40%. And somewhere here, when it was gapping up, I think this chart doesn't show it, but it went all the way to 1,008, right? But I think no one really made any trades because the stock was just halted all day. When you take a look at the volume here, yeah, look at the volume here. There's basically no volume, right? If you take a look. And then one day it just went down like 40-50%, right? When you take a look at this, if you count from 1,800, I think it's like down what, 70% or something like that. So yeah, it's a very volatile stock. Manage your own risk because I'm not going to hold your hand step by step. I can only explain the mechanics to you guys. I think you need to really understand on your own how to enter and how to exit and what's the strategy like. So yeah, with that being said, that's about all I wanted to share today. If you did enjoy the video, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button. With that being said, have a fantastic day ahead, and peace out.